Good morning students. In this video we are going to divide chapter 1 of class 12 biology, that is reproduction in organisms. Okay, so first of all you have to know what is lifespan. Okay, so lifespan we defined as the time period from birth to the natural death of an organism is known as lifespan. Once again, what is lifespan? The time period from birth to the natural death of an organism is known as lifespan. And this lifespan is varies from individual to individual. In sometime it is only one day, in some time few weeks, in some time few months, in some time few years, and in some time many years. Okay. For example, you can see in case of mayfly, the lifespan of mayfly is about only one day. Only one day. Okay. In case of butterfly, in case of butterfly, it is about 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. In case of crow, it is about 15 years. In case of crocodile, it is about 60 years. In case of parrot, it is about 140 years. In case of banyan tree, it is about 200 to 300 years. Okay. And in case of tortoise, it is about 100 to 150 years. Once again, what is lifespan? The time period from birth to the natural death of an animal is known as lifespan. The lifespan of animals vary from individual to individual. In mayfly it is only one day. In case of butterfly, 1 to 2 weeks. In case of crow, it is 15 years. In case of crocodile, it is 60 years. In case of parrot, it is 140 years. In case of banyan tree, it is 200 to 300 years. In case of tortoise, it is 100 to 150 years. Now see, second topic of the division is reproduction. Okay. So what is reproduction? It is also in class 10. Okay. What is reproduction? The biological process by which an organism able to produce offspring of own kind is known as reproduction. It is found in all kinds of living organisms, including unicellular to multicellular living organisms. Okay. And once again, what is reproduction? The biological process by which an organism able to produce offspring of own kind is known as reproduction. Okay. It is this process is responsible for continuity of a species. Without reproduction, a particular species cannot survive on the earth for a long time. Okay. So what is the importance of reproduction? Reproduction helps to survive a species for a long time. Okay. On the basis of involvement of parents, reproduction can be classified into two types. First one is known as asexual reproduction, and second one is known as sexual reproduction. Okay. What is asexual reproduction? The mode of reproduction in which a new organism produced by involving a single parent. New organism produced on a single parent, one parent. What is asexual reproduction? The mode of reproduction in which a new organism produced by involving single parent is known as asexual reproduction. It is very most common in lower organisms. Okay. What is sexual reproduction? In this mode of reproduction, there are two parents involved. One is known as male, other is known as female. You can say there are two parents, parent 1 and parent 2. Male parent produce male gametes. In humans it is known as sperm, and female it is known as egg. Okay. And there is development, there is formation of zygote, and finally gives rise to new organism. So how both differ from each other by definition? The mode of reproduction in which a new organism produced by involving single parent is known as asexual reproduction, and the mode of reproduction in which a new organism produced by involving two parents is known as sexual reproduction. Okay. Now see, asexual reproduction further classified into various types. Okay. So see detail about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction classified into following types. First one is known as fission. Okay. Second one fragmentation, third one budding, fourth one regeneration, fifth one is spore formation, okay, and last one is vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. These are the various types. It is given in your NCERT book. Okay, so first of all, you have to know what is fission. The mode of asexual reproduction and unicellular organisms divides into two or more daughter cells is known as fission. Once again, what is fission? The mode of asexual reproduction in which an unicellular organism divides into two or more daughter cells is known as fission. Okay, it is only found in all unicellular living organisms. Okay, and fission further classified into two types on the basis of number of daughter cells produced. First one is known as binary fission. First one is known as binary fission, and second one is known as multiple fission. Okay, multiple fission. Okay, so what is binary fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into only two daughter cells is known as binary fission. Okay, once again, what is binary fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into only two daughter cells is known as binary fission. Okay, example of binary fission is amoeba, paramecium. Okay, and third one is euglena. Once again, what is binary fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into only two daughter cells is known as binary fission. What is multiple fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into more than two daughter cells is known as multiple fission. So you can simply say that during binary fission only two daughter cells produce, and during multiple fission more than two daughter cells produce, because during binary fission the cell divides once, and during multiple fission the cell divides many times. That's why a number of daughter cells are produced. Multiple fission, again, it is example is multiple fission plasmodium, and one more example amoeba. Okay, multiple fission case of amoeba also known as incestation. Okay, once again, what is binary fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into only two daughter cells is known as binary fission. Example is amoeba, paramecium, euglena. Okay, what is multiple fission? The type of fission in which an unicellular organism divides into more than two daughter cells is known as multiple fission. Multiple fission found in plasmodium, which is causative agent of malaria in case of humans. You know well. Okay, and next one is amoeba also reproduced by multiple fission. In case of amoeba, multiple fission also known as incestation. See, incestation. This is new topic. Incestation. Okay. Now see what is fragmentation. Second one is fragmentation. The mode of asexual reproduction in which a multicellular organism, it is mostly found in lower plants like algae, okay, fungi, etc. But it is most common in algae. Example is, you can see, example is Spirogyra. Fragmentation the most commonly found in algae, that is example is Spirogyra. Spirogyra commonly known as plant cell. Spirogyra is an example of unbranched filamentous alga. Okay. In case of Spirogyra, its body consists of a network of filaments. Okay. This is the filamentous structure of Spirogyra. You know, Spirogyra have ribbon-shaped chloroplast, commonly known as plant cell. Okay. Due to certain reasons, when the body of the Spirogyra splits into small pieces, each piece able to produce the complete spiral web. These are the pieces, and these small pieces known as fragments. The small pieces, each fragment gives rise complete spirogyra. Okay, complete spirogyra. So what is fragmentation? The mode of asexual production in which a multicellular organism broken or split into small pieces known as fragment, and these fragments, these are fragments. How many total number of fragments here? 3. What is fragmentation? The mode of asexual reproduction in which a multicellular organism, especially algae, broken into 2 or more small pieces. These pieces known as fragment, and these fragment able to produce get rise the complete organism is known as fragmentation. Now see, third one is budding. Budding. What is budding? The mode of asexual reproduction in which a new organism produced from the surface of the parent body a small structure that develop at the surface of the parent body, or a special structure developed inside the body of the organism is known as budding. So you can say budding again classified into 2 types. First one is known as external budding, and second one is known as internal budding. Okay, what is external budding? External budding found in hydra. Okay, internal budding found in sponges. Okay, internal budding also known as genule formation. Genule formation. Okay, you know in class 10 what is external budding in hydra. So see, first one external budding. So in case of budding, a special structure can be developed at the surface of the parent body or inside the body of the living organism. You can see inside the parent body. So first one is external budding. In this type of budding, a special tube-like structure developed at the surface of the parent body. Finally, this structure detached from the parent body and gives rise the complete organism. See, in case of hydra, hydra is a multicellular living organism that belongs to phylum Coelenterata of invertebrates. Okay, in case of hydra, it has a special structure to capture the prey. You can see the diagram of the hydra. These are the tentacles. This is structure known as tentacles, and this is the base. Okay, this hydra during budding develops a small structure. This parent hydra, small structure that is known as bud, and this bud finally detached from the parent body and gives rise. This is bud, and finally this bud detached from the parent hydra and gives rise the complete organism. It is external. This is the new hydra, and this is the parent hydra. Okay. What is external budding? In this type of budding, a special structure developed at the surface of the parent body. Finally, this special structure detached from the parent body and gives rise the new organism. Now see, next one is internal budding. Internal budding also known as genule formation. Internal budding found in sponges. You can see this is found in sponges. You know, sponges are the living organism belongs to phylum Polypera of invertebrates. In case of sponge, you will find that it has a common core and it has a base is there. Sponges are silent, they cannot move. Okay, and they have a common core known as osculum, and they have minute pores throughout the body known as ostia. Through the ostia, these are ostia. Okay, these sponges develop special structures. Once again, see, through the ostia water enters, and through the osculum water moves out. In these sponges, a special structure developed during internal budding known as genules, also known as internal buds. These are the genules or internal buds. When you will see the detailed structure of the genule, you will find that this picture-like. It has pore at the upper surface, picture-like structure, double layer. Okay, this is picture-like structure, and you will cover this properly. Okay. It contains, this picture-like structure contains specialized cells known as arcuocytes. These are arcuocyte cells. You can see in NCERT book also. Okay, labeling not given, but I will label there. Okay. So this is the detailed structure of genules. Genules are the internal buds that develop inside the body of sponges during internal budding. When you will see the detailed structure of genule, you will find that there is a small pore known as micropyle. Okay, and this is outer membrane. You can see this is the inner membrane, and these are the cells known as arcuocytes. Okay. And between the outer inner membrane, special structure present that provide protection sponges, that is known as spicules. These are the spicules. So once again, what is during internal budding? Okay, a small bud-like structure developed inside the body of the living organisms known as genules. When you will see the structure of genule, you will find that it is a picture-like, has two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane, and between outer and inner membrane it has spicules-like structure that provide protection known as spicules. This structure protects the body of the sponge, and specialized cells inside is known as arcuocytes. These arcuocytes, when released from the micropyle in water, it gives rise to new sponge. This is an example of internal budding. Why? Because buds develop inside the body of the organism, so it is known as internal budding. Once again, during external budding, the bud develop at the surface of the parent body. In case of internal budding, the bud develop inside the body of the living organism. External budding found in Hydra, it is also found in yeast. There are two examples of external budding, Hydra and yeast, but Hydra is an example of multicellular living organisms, and yeast an example of unicellular living organism that belongs to kingdom Giardia. Okay. Now see, next one is, so you have completed first one, fission, second one, fragmentation, third one, budding. Now fourth one, regeneration. This is also in class 10. The process of development of the particular organ, new organ, or the complete living organism from the injured part of the body. Injured or last part of the body is known as regeneration. Okay. Now see, regeneration again further classified into two types. First one is known as morphallaxis, and second one is known as epimorphosis. So in this process, the injured or last part develop into the complete living organisms, or the new part that is broken. Okay, when the complete living organism produced from the injured or last part is known as morphallaxis. See, it is found in Planaria. Planaria belongs to phylum Platyhelminthes. When this Planaria cuts into three pieces, see, each piece will give rise. Suppose that this Planaria broken into three pieces. Each piece will give rise to the complete Planaria. This is each piece will give rise complete Planaria. Okay. So in case of morphallaxis, the injured or last part able to produce the complete body. But in case of epimorphosis, Epimorphosis is found in lizard. In case of lizard, you can see when the lizard loses its tail. Suppose that this is the lizard body, the lizard. When due to certain reasons, the lizard loses its tail. Okay, this tail further develops not complete living organism. The broken part will give rise a new tail. This is the new tail. Okay. So what is regeneration? The type of a sexual reproduction in which the injured or lost part of the body of the organism able to produce either the complete living organisms or the part regenerates again, known as regeneration. When the complete living organism produced from the injured or lost part is known as morphallaxis, and when only injured part produced or lost part regenerates again, known as epimorphosis. Morphallaxis found in planaria and epimorphosis found in lizard. Okay. Now see next one, spore formation. Spore formation most commonly found in fungi. Example is penicillium. Okay. In case of fungi, their body made up of a network of thread-like structures known as mycelium and single thread-like structure known as hypha. Okay. In case of spore formation, first of all, see, suppose that this is the network of the fungi. This network you know well. This network is known as mycelium. Okay. When a single is known as hypha and network is known as mycelium. Under favorable conditions, this hypha produces a stalk-like structure. A single cell grows and gives rise to a stalk-like structure. A single cell produces and gives rise to a stalk-like structure and nucleus transferred there. Or you can say during spore formation, a new organism produced from the spore that developed from the fungal mycelium. Okay, spores are the resistant structures that remain in the soil produced from the fungal hyphae or mycelium. Under favorable conditions, these spores germinates and gives rise the new fungi. Okay, so this is all about spore formation. Spores may be motile. When these spores are motile, known as zoospores, and when spores are non-motile, the example is Onidia. Zoospores example given in your NCERT book, Chlamydomonas. Okay, and Protea formation is penicillium. Okay, so this is all about fragmentation. Now next one is I will revise in the next video. Thank you.